Well, I'm really glad that all of you are here for our service today. And I'd like to read from Whispers from Eternity. I'm also glad that the people on the internet are watching too. So wherever you are in the world, we're glad to have you. This is Yogananda's prayers on the beads of love. I tell my prayers on the beads of love, strung with my devotion. I direct them beyond all names, God, Spirit, Brahma, Christ, Shankara, Krishna, Buddha, Muhammad. For all names are thine. And I shun no name, for I know thou dwellest in all forms. In thy cosmic dramas on the stage of time, and in thy myriad acting roles, thou hast assumed innumerable names. Behind them all, too, I know thy one changeless name, eternal, conscious, self-existent bliss. Many times have I played with thee. Many songs of thine have I sung. On the ocean bosom of thy eternal life, I've been nurtured by thee as a tiny drop of life. I remember thy warm touch through the centuries whenever, feeling the chill of separation, I turned homeward to thee. Again, in this daylight of remembrance, let me play with thee, let me sing thy songs. Living in the spirit, in the presence, in the love of God. This is the job. Now, we just sang, I am Om. Omnipresent, I am Om. All-pervading, I am Om. All blessed, I am Om. Therefore, aren't we always in the presence of God? We are. We're always in Om. The problem is not a lack of divine love or consciousness. The problem is our awareness and conscious living in the presence of God. And that's what we have to work on. And that's what all of us and all of those watching have come to the place on the journey, this long, very long movie that we've been assigned all these parts, and we've forgotten that we're made of spirit, that we're always in spirit. And we have, as Master said, we've drifted away from God. But all we have to do is turn back. On the top end of the spectrum are the great actors of the human drama, and those are the saints. Kriyananda would often say the saints are the true custodians of religion. They're the ones who understand what the purpose of this life is and what the real life is. They're the ones that teach us the chant, I am Om. I am Om, all-pervading. I am Om, all-blessed. I am Om. This is the song. There's a little YouTube movie of Yogananda chanting this. It's great. I mean, it's only a few minutes and the quality is not that great, but the vibration is excellent. So we have to remind ourselves to live in the presence of God. Worldly people are not interested in living in the presence of God. They're tricked by the duality. And so they live not in the presence of God. They don't see God. Kriyananda in this reading says, if you want to see God, look for him. Really good idea. I'm going to tell you a Bible story. I don't usually tell Bible stories, but this is a good one. This is a little bit before the events in Bethlehem when Jesus was born. There was a king. He was the king of Judea, which is now Israel, but his name was Herod. And he brought a microphone. Oh, whoops. He was the king of Judea, and he was very insecure about himself. And he heard about these three kings that were coming from the east to Bethlehem. Well, no, he didn't know it was Bethlehem. Coming to Judea. He was incredibly insecure, and he heard, or the spies told him, that they were coming to visit a king. So he got nervous because his power was threatened. Now, it's hard to imagine a worldly leader being nervous or doing bad things, but this is a true story, St. Matthew. What he did was he asked the three kings to come and meet with him. Now, the three kings weren't really kings either. They were avatars. Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Moshai, Swami Sri Teshwar. So Herod met with these three. And he asked them, when they find the king, who was really an avatar, Christ, come back and tell me. I want to worship him. And what we really wanted to do was kill him. So you can be living in the presence of God. You can be talking to three avatars. And it's all about your attitude and your receptivity. Because he missed it entirely. The kings, the avatars, Babaji, Lahiri, Sri Teshwar, went to Christ. And they warned Mary and Joseph. They said, Herod is bonkers. And he's out for Jesus. So we recommend that you go to Egypt. Take the child to Egypt. And when Herod dies, you can come back. And so they did. So Herod's experience of the three kings was a bit on the short side. Mary's experience of the three kings was the attitude of the disciples, of all of us. We need to live more in the presence of God. How do we do that? Well, every master that's ever come, all of them, Buddha, Krishna, Moses, all the rest, we have to do sadhana. We have to elevate our consciousness to the point between the eyebrows, to the Christ center, to the Krishna center. We have to lift our perception, our center of perception, our range of perception to that higher level. We're not going to feel God and love God and realize God if we don't look in that direction. Because, as Master Mahashai told Master, doesn't the name of God sound sweet even from the ignorant as well as the wise? And of course, Master, who was play acting this part entirely, but still, he just was lifted into the merciful presence of God. So we have to train ourselves to keep our consciousness in the center, and we have to practice that meditation by deeper, longer, thirsty, Guru-given meditation. We experience that level within us. It is within us. We have the Christ consciousness within us. It is born consciously, and we need to tune into it. But it's always there. It's everywhere. And the saints go through the world, and they look at that aspect. Kriyananda always came, when he met people, with this spirit of, this is a form of God. How can I greet them? How can I offer them divine love? How can I offer them respect? How can I encourage any tendencies they have towards higher consciousness? I don't know if it's still called it, but Yoga Postures, the Yoga Postures book was called Yoga Postures for Higher Awareness. That's the goal, is to share that. And, we have a sort of I just said that God's always with us, true, but Paramhansa Yogananda said at the time of the birth and the passing of the avatars and the saints, there's a special window of opportunity for us to contact the divine. It's subtle, and I'm not saying you shouldn't meditate except at Christmas, but what Master was saying was the grace and the blessings of the lives that the avatars and the saints take on puts into the ether a special opportunity. So this coming Saturday, we'll have an all-day meditation at the meditation retreat. Next Monday, the 23rd, we'll have an all-day meditation here. We have the Christmas festivities. We had the beautiful concert last night. The music was beautiful, the blessings and the vibration of the singers and the devotion adds to that music. That's a dimension that we as disciples can take advantage of. And we need to take advantage of it because the world is not going to support self-realization, world brotherhood, nonviolence. It's on its own track. And you don't see it generally. In fact, I think this is the only time in the calendar year that the United States has a celebration of a spiritual holiday. But that gives us a really good opportunity because Christmas trees are popping up everywhere. Yogananda said the Christmas tree represents the spine. The lights on the Christmas tree represent the lights in the chakras. The angels, the lights in the chakras. The symbols of the wreath, life, the eternal cycle of life, evergreen, always living, always God's present, always Om. Hanukkah, Diwali. The great thing about being the church of all religions is that everything goes and everything can be enjoyed and should be enjoyed because we are all children of the Divine Mother. We are all the Christ consciousness. We have it there. This is an opportunity. The next couple of weeks, we have Master's birthday coming, and then we have New Year's and new beginnings and throwing off of worldliness and embracing the spiritual life. And we have Master's birthday and the coming of the kings on January 6th. I'm really disappointed that certain Americans caused a riot on that day because that was our day and now they think it's their day. It's not your day, it's our day. The three kings came to Christ. That in itself is something to meditate on. Babaji, Lahiri, Yukteswar, the saints of different traditions. And Kriyananda pointed out that was an interfaith satsang. That is the Hindus and the Buddhists and all religions celebrating one truth, the Father, the Mother of us all. That's what we have to celebrate. Drop any judgment. Master Mahashai was so right on. It's a silly thing to have a Christmas sale of pots and pans and appliances, but at least they're having a Christmas sale. They're celebrating in some way. Take the very top of it, and it's sometimes hard to put it off. I got to tell you one story. Right before Thanksgiving, I was listening to the local radio station to get the weather on my way to work, and this commercial came on, and it said, the holidays, Thanksgiving, how wonderful, giving thanks and celebrating with family, and traditions, like the Reno Gun Show. Oh, God. They have a large variety of handguns and ammo. I'm really glad that we don't have to honor that tradition, and that Swamiji had us honor the best of the tradition. Just take the best of them. We had a wonderful celebration at the Living Wisdom School. On Friday night, we lit the candles of the menorah. We lit the Yule log. We sang Swami's songs, the Christ Child, Son of Mary. Just a wonderful vibration. And I was sitting there with Nitai and Maria. So, you know, we've been going to a lot of school celebrations in the last 50 years. But the children, to them, for many of them, it was their first Christmas celebration. It was so beautiful. It was so great. It was so blessed. It was so innocent. It was so pure. That is Christmas. And whether you're aged or 6 years old, the mother is with us at Christmas, and we live there. I'm going to give you a little preview, because as we progress as disciples, as we go on in our discipleship, as we celebrate Christmas after Christmas, all-day meditation, or half a meditation, if we can only make half a meditation, whatever, as we practice, we approach the consciousness of the saints. We begin to think and feel and live in the presence of God as the saints do, as Master Mahashaya does, as Master did. Master, when he would go to the all-day meditation, Christ would appear to him. One of the meditations, he said, it was so great, I thought I'd never come out of ecstasy. Christ appeared to me 4 times, twice as a young man, twice as a child, and once as a young man. In his eyes were the power of the infinite. That's where this is going. Keep going. Keep meditating. Keep celebrating with every tradition. Keep erasing from your heart any limitations, any judgments of any other path. Instead, embrace that love that is God. Swami would often remind us, if you knew how much God loved you, you would die for joy. That is your fate. That is the goal. Keep immersing yourself year by year, and you will find more and more that you're living in the presence of God, that light is dynamic, and you will be like Master. One time he left the all-day meditation at the end, and he looked at the disciples and he said, "You are so beautiful. You have no idea how beautiful you are. Silver light and golden light. That is what you are." Merry Christmas.
Every morning when I greet the sun, when I move forth through crowded ways, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. When I laugh, oh, and when I cry with pain, when my best friends misunderstand, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. Dear God, my God, I am thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am thine eternally. Though my path lead me over desert sands, though it take me through bitter storms, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. When I'm working and when in hand repose, that not victory or no defeat, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee.
This is one of our favorite songs by Swami Kriyananda, The Shawl of Gold.
A poor little girl walking in the cold, her clothing all tattered and thin, spied a rich man standing outside a church, outside a church, outside a church, spied a rich man standing outside a church, the service about to begin.
Please, sir, she said, hear an orphan child. The cold winds of winter have come. I've no place to live, not in all the world. Oh, help me find work in some home.
The rich man frowned. Don't you hear that hymn? Good people have gathered in prayer. It's a day for worship, impious girl, impious girl, oh impious girl. It's a day for worship, impious girl. Don't speak here of earthly affairs. She turned then and entered the holy church. The girl wandered down the cold street, and there all at once she beheld a small boy, no jacket, no shoes for his feet.
His clothing was shabby, as worn as her own. He shivered against a closed door. Oh, alas, he cried, none will take me in. Take me in, none will take me in. Alas, he cried, none will take me in. Though I'm starving and cold, for I'm poor. Seeing him, she cried, how I feel for you. It's bitter with no friends to live. Here, please take my shawl, it's all I can spare, though it's shameful so little to give.
She wrapped him all up in the flimsy cloth and kissed his cold forehead and smiled. Suddenly a warmth like a summer breeze, summer breeze, like a summer breeze. Suddenly a warmth like a summer breeze encircled this poor girl and child. And the tender voice said, my daughter, I'm here. No more shall you weep without friends. For in yonder church there's no love like hearts their needs I attend. My child, all men's sorrows would turn to joy if they knew that to share is no loss. For its kindness broadens the human heart, the human heart. For its kindness broadens the human heart. I know, I who died on the cross. Worship means but love, and my love you found by your gift to me here in the cold. And she found their clothes were now woolen and warm, and the shawl was now spun.